Right, this is a short video just to explain how to create a squared around, which is part of Unit Standard 25704. I've drawn the plan and the elevation here. The first thing that you probably want to do is to label them. So I'll go A, B, C, D, and that means that the elevation is A, B, and C, D. We'll want to number our points in our circle. If we start here, and we'll call this 1. I've divided the circle up into 12 equal parts using the compass, using the radius to step that out. That should be something that you're familiar with. So we'll go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we've got a plan view. You can see the true length of the rectangle and the true size of the diameter, and off the elevation you can see the true length of the height, but all these lines are sloping away in both of these views, so we can't actually see a true length in either view of any of these lines. Now this is we're going to split this pattern here, and we're going to say that it's not symmetrical, so therefore the whole pattern will need to be developed. In practice, if you're folding something like this up, you would make the pattern in 2 parts, because you can't really fold it on the brake press and achieve the full shape, because it'll grab the machine at some point. So what we're going to do here is create a true length diagram. We start down bottom here. We need a horizontal and a vertical, and to create our pattern, which is going to be over here, we're going to start with this triangle first. So if we set our compass, I might use the larger compass for these lines. If we set our compass to A1 here and mark A1 on here, label it A1, and then I'm going to build this pattern as I go. I'm not going to create the true length diagram initially. I'm going to build it as part of the process. So we'll set our compass to that length, and before we can use that we need to create a base. So our pattern's going to start over here, and the base is going to be 55 millimeters. You can take that straight off the plan view. So there's our 2 points that we're going to start from, and A1 here, we'll call that A and that B, and draw an arc. Then we go B1, and this is almost symmetrical, so but for the purposes of this we're going to say that it's not. Draw a line here, it's slightly different. B1, put our compass on here, extend that to there. B1, that's point 1, and we can draw that in. That's our first triangle. Okay, so the next one we're going to do is B2. So we set our compass there onto 2, B2, down onto the true length diagram, put our compass on here, set to the right length, B2 will be here, and while we're at it, we'll create A12, and it's the same length in this case, but the sizes could all be different depending on the position of the round to the square. Describe that in there. Now this is where it's handy to have two compasses, so we'll set our small compass to this dimension here, and then we go from 1, because we're going 1 to 2, that's not quite accurate, 1 to 12. You'll never create a truly accurate squared around using a pencil like this, because the thick and particularly at this size, because the thickness of the pencil is quite a big error. Okay, we've now got 2 points, 2 new points. So we've got B2, so I'll call that one 2, and A12, 12. Okay, now I'll draw these ones in, but that'll be the last time before we get to the end, because I'm going to so we'll just draw the lines in. And I'm using a nice big fat pencil so you can see what's going on, but a sharp pencil will make things more accurate. Okay, so we just continue the process, and so now we go A11, A11 there, and B3, and once again use our compass to go from the end of this line to here. B4. Now you'll see that we're on another big triangle now, so things are going to change a little bit for the next step of the process. And we'll go A10, A10, small compass again onto these points. So that's A10, 11, 3, 4. Right, so I'll draw these lines in. And then we'll use a slightly different process for the next triangle. We now need to set our compass to this length, because that's going to be the bottom of our next big triangle. And these are both the same. And then we're looking at these, so that's, we've got that line, now we need to find that line. So C4 once again comes off the plan. And we need to from here out to here. And similarly for D10, over here. So now we've got that length. Okay, so now the next thing we need to do is find our next point here. So that's going to be, in this case, D9. Now I'll just mark these up. So we've got B, C, and AD, and this is D9. So we'll draw that one in here, and then find our point there. So we've got this triangle here. I guess I can put this one at the same time. We need C5. And that one in there. C6. And what have we got? D9, we need D8. You can see here I'm almost going to run out of paper, so it's important where you place your start point for your transition. Although, having said that, as I mentioned before, half pattern is often the case, so you'll be drawing two half patterns. 1, 2, 3, 4, so we've got C7 need, and D7 in the middle. So I have a feeling that this is going to be the same, so we can use the same setting there. So Okay, and then just the finishing part. Where we need to take, this is a true length off of here, so we can take that. No, it isn't. Excuse me. We've got D7, C7. Now we need these two halves. It is a true length, to be honest, it's a height. So the two halves will create a right angle to the transition, and we'll measure down this length. From here and these two corners here should be a right angle. And then all we need to do is sketch in our curve. And there we have a squared around transition, or rectangular round transition piece.